Hello guys, this is my day 32 of self-improvement. Today, my day is like one step in my improvement. Today, I take a very efficient step, and the step is that I divided my whole day in four parts. Four parts uh, of studying. First is from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. So in this part and this time, I have planned that I need to complete at least 7 to 8 questions of costing and one topic of organizational behavior and and in and one topic of business communication. These are my three subjects. And in my first part, I am efficient up to till 75%, I can say, because in costing I have done 7 questions. In Boca I have done one topic, but I'm unable to done. I'm unable to do my business communication. Uh, business communication task. So in costing, I have learned that there are 4 to 5 steps of overhead. First is overhead primary distribution. In this, all the indirect expenses of various departments are primarily distributed to those departments which are directly attributable. For example, uh, what can I say? Like other direct expenses is easily identifiable, that how much amount of other direct expenses is due to of department A, department B, and department C. So first, those expenses which are directly attributable to a specific department should uh, should be allocated to those department only, and this step is called allocation. And in primary distribution only, there is a second step called apportionment. In apportionment, the common expenses is distributed among all the service and production department. In apportionment, there are some basis for distribution, like for rent it is floor area, for power it is HP into machine hours, that is horsepower into machine hours, and in depreciation, uh, value of machine, insurance, value of machine. So these are the bases: value of machine, floor area, power, number of employees. These are the basis to allocate the expenses which are indirect in nature. So this is the second step, which is allocation of indirect expenses in all the production and service department. It also comes in primary distribution. Then there is second step in the overhead is secondary distribution, or it is also known as reapportionment. In this step, we distribute the service department expenses into production department expenses, because service department doesn't produce anything. So it is not efficient. It is not correct to show indirect expenses of service department. So that's why after calculating the total expenses of service department, those expenses were transferred to production or distributed to production department. So the question is, what are the ratio on the basis of which expenses are distributed in production departments, various production departments? So the answer is, there are four methods of distribution. First is direct distribution. That is, it is given in the question that service service department 1 distributed their expenses in production department A, B, and B in the ratio 2:3. So it is very simple to that in this we distribute the expenses of a particular service department in to production department as per the ratio given. This is simple. Direct distribution. The second one is non-recurring distribution. In this distribution, one service department, it is first of all, its another name is step ladder or step down method. In this method, one service department expenses it's distribute its expense to another. But other that but second service department does not distribute its expenses to first service department. That's why uh, we it is a step ladder type. It shows like a step ladder distribution. So uh, in this step, first the expenses of a particular service department is distributed in the production as well as another service department, and the next service department expenses is distributed only on the production department and not in the service department which has sent its expenses to that service department earlier. It seems difficult in while listening to that, but it is really easy. Now the next type is recurring, and in this distribution, uh, one service department distributes expenses to other and production department, and similarly the second service department distribute the expenses to production and first service department, and these processes go on till the amount of distribution between service department is negligible. And the fourth one is simultaneous equation. In this, we assume the total amount of overhead to be distributed from one service department to another is x, and the another overhead expenses of second service department be y, and by the use of percentage given in the question we form the equation, and by solving the equation we get the value of x and y, which is the total overhead expenses which is distributed from one service department to another service or production department. So in this case we directly deduct the total amount of overhead expenses in the first service department and also uh, uh, and production department, and then similarly, by doing the same step for second service department, we get the actual overhead distribution of service department in only production department, and lastly, the value of service department is nil. So this is the fourth step of apportionment. Now, the third step is apportionment. The third step is calculating the machine hour rates, various rates, like there are number of units. So the formula is busted overhead by busted number of units, percentage of direct material, that is busted overhead by direct material cost, percentage of prime cost is busted overhead by prime cost, and percentage of direct wages, no sorry, direct material. And there are few more formulas, like the main important one is uh, labor hour, machine hour. Labor hour is busted overhead by busted labor hour, and machine is machine hour rate, which is again in two parts. First is normal machine hour rate. In this, first of all, uh, in numerator it is total amount of expenses associated to a particular machine divisible by the uh, yeah, effective machine hour. So what is effective machine hour? Effective machine hour is the machine hour, is the duration of machine hour at the time at which for the period of which machine works. For example, and the formula for is total machine working hour less setup time less repair and maintenance. We did not deduct it if it is of abnormal nature, but if it is normal and unproductive, then we should deduct it from total machine hours. So this is the effective machine hour, and cost associated to machine hour has again two parts. First is standing cost, which is fixed irrespective of the working of the machine, and the second is variable, which depends upon the working of the machine, which increases or decreases as per the machine working. So the next is so this is the third step, and in fourth there is a calculation of under or over absorption. In case of we first of all in this step we first of all calculate the overhead expected by the company, because overhead is expected at the starting of the year, and by the end of year only we are able to know the actual overhead expenses. So at the starting of the year we estimate some overhead expenses and keep some amount aside for that uh, unexpected overhead expenses. And at the end of the year we got to know the actual overhead, and then we match the actual overhead with estimated overhead. If the estimated is more, then then there is over absorption or recovery and of overhead, and if the absorption estimated is less and actual is more, then there is a under recovery or under absorption. So in case of under absorption we need to there are three treatments. First is for finished good which is remain in the closing stock. uh, the treatment is to calculate the supplementary rate uh, and increase the cost at the supplementary rate. So what is the formula for supplementary rate? Formula is total under absorption of overhead divisible by number of units produced, total units produced. So by doing that we get a supplementary rate, and at supplementary rate uh, we increases the value of closing stock of finished good. And then the next is WIP. In WIP there are some percentage of WIP which are equivalent to finished good. So at the equivalent units we charge supplementary rate to increase the price. And the next one is the unit which have sold. So the unit which have sold, we charged them at a supplementary rate to increase the cost of sale, which ultimately decreases the profit. So there are three treatments of under absorption. So up till here we have completed the costing overhead in short, not in detail, but it is fine for CIA. It is college entrance takes uh, college interest, whatever, just leave it. So this for today. uh, Thank you. We will going to do it again tomorrow.